Hello students, welcome to the class. In this class I am going to explain concept of vectors. But basically vectors are the physical quantities. They can have both magnitude and direction and also obeys laws of vector addition. First of all, you need to understand what is physical quantity. Physical quantity means it is the quantity which can be measured directly with the help of instrument, or also you can measure it indirectly by using theoretical methods, by using mathematical formulae. So either it can be measured directly by the instrument or indirectly by mathematical formulae is called physical quantity. So generally they can be classified into three types. You can see on the board three types of physical quantities. Those are scalars, vectors and tensors. Scalars can have only magnitude but they do not have direction. We have some of the scalars, they can have direction, but however they do not obey laws of vector addition. But most of the scalars have no direction. Remember that. So examples for scalars: distance, speed, and here mass, temperature, time, volume, density, and this work, energy. We have many physical quantities: frequency, resistance, capacitance, right? Electric potential. We have many physical quantities. We will discuss all the physical quantities in the next chapters. But you can see now vectors. Vectors are the physical quantities. They can have magnitude, direction, and also they obey laws of vector addition. Laws of vector addition means, what are the laws of vector addition? I think you familiar with those laws: commutative law, associative law, distributive law. In addition to those laws, that vectors should obey parallelogram law of vectors. If physical quantities obey those laws, in addition to this magnitude and direction, those are called vectors. You can see the examples for vectors: displacement, velocity, acceleration, momentum, force, and torque, angular momentum. There are so many vectors. Clear? And third one is tensors. Tensors are the physical quantities. They can have different magnitudes in different directions. Examples: you can see moment of inertia. A rotating body can have different values of moment of inertia about different axes of rotation. So based on the direction of rotation of the body or direction of rotation of axis of rotation, so body can possess different values of moment of inertia. So it is the tensor. Stress is different in different directions: resistivity, conductivity. These are the few examples for tensors. Clear? But we have some of the physical quantities, they can have direction but they do not obey laws of vector addition. So those are called scalars. Having direction is not enough to have a vector. That physical quantity should obey laws of vector addition. Then only we can say that physical quantity is vector. So having magnitude and direction are not enough to have a vector. So in addition to that physical quantity should obey laws of vector addition. You should remember that. So electric current, for example, this is the wire I. If it is connected to another two wires, this is the junction. So if it is I1, I2, and angle between these two is theta, irrespective of this angle, I is equal to I1 plus I2. So the current entering into the junction is equal to the sum of the currents flowing away from the junction. This is called junction law. So no need to take this vector addition. It doesn't obey laws of vector addition. So electric current is a scalar quantity. Speed of light or velocity of light. So it has no specific direction. Light can travel in all possible directions. We cannot give any specific direction for velocity of the light. Velocity of light also scalar quantity. Velocity of light is scalar. Pressure is not vector. Pressure is also scalar quantity, because pressure is what? The normal force exerted by the gas molecules on the surface of the walls of container. Pressure means normal force per unit area. The direction already defined. Here always perpendicular. It cannot take any arbitrary direction. So that is why pressure has only unique direction. It cannot take any other direction. So that is why we can treat that pressure as a scalar. And wave velocity, similar to velocity of light, velocity of wave or wave velocity is also scalar quantity. And temperature is scalar, but temperature gradient is vector. Temperature is scalar, temperature gradient this is vector quantity. It gives the direction of flow of heat. Temperature gradient means the rate of change of temperature per unit distance, or change of temperature per unit distance along the conductor. It gives a direction of flow of heat. So it is vector quantity. Similar to this, potential, it may be gravitational potential or electric potential, is a scalar, but potential gradient, the change of potential per unit distance is called potential gradient, is vector. It gives direction of field. So field always from high potential to low potential. So it gives direction of electric or gravitational field. If it is the gravitational potential gradient gives direction of gravitational field, and the electric potential gradient gives direction of electric field. Remember these two. Generally, vector is denoted by alphabet with, this is the alphabet with an over bar. This is the representation. This is the directed line segment. This is the representation of vector. It shows what? Both magnitude and direction. Both magnitude and direction. To represent only magnitude, we can write this A as modulus of A bar. This is the magnitude. Magnitude of this vector is denoted by like this. It gives magnitude. And only if one want to know the direction of this, if one wants to represent only direction of this A vector, you can represent only the direction of this A vector by using its unit vector A cap. It gives direction of A vector A cap. This modulus of A gives magnitude of this, and its direction is given by this. Clear? You can simply write what this A vector is the combination of these two, magnitude and this A cap. Clear? So you can write this A cap is equal to a vector by its magnitude. This is what? Unit vector of A. That A cap is what? Unit vector. Unit vector of A. It gives only magnitude. So it has both magnitude and direction. If you divide this with magnitude, magnitude gets cancelled. You will have only direction, that is given by this A cap. Clear? And the geometrical representation of vector or graphical representation. Graphically, vector is represented with this directed line segment. This is what? Directed line segment. If it is the vector A, this starting point is called tail of vector. This final point is called head of the vector. This line length gives what? Information of magnitude of the vector. Length of the line. This length of the line gives information of magnitude of vector. And this arrowhead shows what? Direction of vector. Direction of vector is given by this arrowhead. So more the magnitude, there will be more length of the line. If the vector line, this directed line segment size is small, then you can understand its magnitude is less. So with the help of length of the line, we can represent its magnitude graphically. This is the graphical representation of the vector. Clear? Now the measurement of angle between two vectors. Measure of angle between two vectors. You can see measurement of angle between two vectors. Listen carefully. If these are the two vectors directed in two different directions at two different positions, to measure the angle between these two, we should follow a simple method. For example, if it is a vector, this is the vector p bar. If you displace this vector to any position parallel to itself, if it is taken to any place without changing its direction, if I displace this vector from here to here without changing direction, now still its size is same, direction also same. So after displacement of this vector from here to here, its value is same. So that is why a vector value doesn't change when it is displaced parallel to itself without changing its direction. So you should note that point, which is very important. Vector value doesn't change when it is displaced to any place parallel to itself without changing direction. So here we are not changing the direction of this while displacing it from this place to this place. Here you can see same direction and size also same. No change of magnitude and no change in direction. So vector value remains same. So for example, if I rotate this vector from this place to this place, if I rotate this vector about this tail through this angle, if it is rotated, you can see here its direction is changing, but size remains constant. When a vector is rotated through any angle, magnitude of the vector remains same, but direction may changes. This theta, this angle of this is the vector p rotated through an angle theta in anti-clockwise direction or either in clockwise direction. So if it is rotated about the tail through an angle theta, you can see clearly if it is the vector, if I rotate this from here to here, no change in its size, but direction is changing. So even direction changes, that vector value not remain same. Its value changes, but not for all the angles. If I rotate this, if I complete one rotation, if it is made to rotate 360 degrees or 2 pi radians. After one complete rotation, the direction also remains same. If theta equal to 2 pi, angle of rotation, now still the same direction, same magnitude. After complete 2 rotations, angle of rotation is 4 pi. This is for one complete rotation. For one complete rotation. No change in the value of vector. After 2 complete rotations, means angle of rotation is 4 pi radians. For this angle of rotation also no change in direction as well as magnitude. Vector value doesn't change. After n such complete rotations, for n complete rotations, angle of rotation is 2 pi n. So vector value doesn't change for n complete rotations. So except for these angles, vector direction also changes. Other than this angle, this n must be integer. This is the integer, it gives the number of complete rotations. If n is 3, you can understand the angle of rotation is, the number of rotations are 3. If n is 10 means the number of complete rotations are 10. For these angles, for any angle of rotation other than this, that vector direction is different from this initial direction. So its value will change. So remember, if vector is rotated through a certain angle about its tail, its magnitude doesn't change, but the direction may changes. Remember that here. Now you can see here measurement of angle between these two. So to measure the angle between these two, we should displace either of these two vectors and we should keep either tails or heads of these two vectors in contact. So the tails or heads of these two vectors should be kept in contact to measure the angle between these two without changing the direction by displacing either of these two vectors. So let me displace this b vector from here to here to keep the tail of these two vectors in contact. We can measure angle between two vectors by displacing either of two vectors, and we should keep the tails or heads in contact. To keep the tails in contact, we should displace at least one of the vectors from their positions. So if I displace this vector from this position to this position, but you should not change the direction of this, you can displace this vector parallel to itself to any position. If it is taken to this position, direction same. This is B now. Now here there are two possible angles between these two. This is one angle and other. This is theta 1, theta 2. Between these two angles, which is greater? Theta 2 is greater. There are two possible angles between two vectors. So but generally we take a smaller angle. The smaller angle between these two is treated as effective angle. Smaller angle is what? Angle between the two vectors. Between two vectors. I think it is clear. This angle between two vectors never be more than 180. The maximum angle between two vectors is 180. You should remember, it never be more than 180. Minimum angle is what? If these two are parallel to each other, that is 0. If two vectors are in the same direction, like this, angle between this A vector and B vector is 0. If those are in opposite direction, angle between the vectors is 180. This is the maximum angle, this is the minimum angle. Both are in the same direction here. I think it is clear. Again listen. To measure the angle between the two vectors, the tails or heads of two vectors should be kept in contact by displacing either of the two vectors without changing their directions. Clear? Now you can see here, if this is the vector A and this is the vector 2A, A vector and 2A vector are in the same direction. The difference between these two is what? Only magnitude. Magnitude of this second vector is twice the first one. Its size is double the size of this. So, but direction is same. So that is why, what is the angle between A and 2A? Angle between A vector and 2A vector is 0 degrees. Similarly, angle between 2A vector and 9A vector, both are in the same direction. This is also 0, right? Or what is the angle between A vector and minus 2A vector, or angle between A and minus A? If it is the A vector, this is minus A. Minus means opposite direction to this. You can say this is the negative vector of this A. Angle between these two is 180 degrees. Angle between A vector and minus A vector is 180. But what is the angle between A vector and minus 3A? Again, minus 3A size is 3 times of A vector, but opposite direction to this A. Both are in opposite direction, anti-parallel vectors. So angle between these two also 180 degrees. Angle between A and minus 3A is also 180 degrees. Very easy to write angle between the two vectors. You can see here, if we have two vectors, this is A vector and B vector. If angle between these two vectors is 30 degrees, angle between A and B is 30 degrees, then find angle between 2A and 3B. If A is directed in this direction, what is the direction of 2A? In the direction of A only. 2A is parallel to A, but its size is double the size of A. This is the 2A. This A and 2A are in the same direction. This is B. 3B also in the direction of B. So this is 3B. Angle between these, if angle between these two is 30, here also 30 degrees. These two are parallel, these two are parallel. Clear? So angle between 2A and 3B also 30 degrees. Now what is the angle between 2A and minus 3B? 2A and minus 3B. Angle between 2A vector and minus 3B vector. You can see it is the direction of A. 2A also in the same direction of A. And this is the direction of B. This is B. This angle is 60 degrees. This is B. A, 2A are in the same direction. Minus 3B is in opposite direction to B, but its length is 3 times of that. This is minus 3B. Minus 3B. This angle is 30 degrees. Now this angle is, this total angle is 180. So this is 180 minus 30, it gives 150 degrees. So angle between these two is 150 degrees. Types of vectors. Vectors can be classified into different types based on their magnitude and direction. The first one is like or parallel vectors. Like vectors or parallel vectors. The name itself, it shows what? If two vectors are parallel to each other, means must be in the same direction. If two vectors are in the same direction, those are called like vectors or parallel vectors. Magnitude of these two may be different. Magnitude may be different, however directions are same. So what is the angle between these two? Theta is 0. But mod of A may be not equal to mod of B. Magnitudes may be not equal. Clear? These are called like vectors. Next, unlike or anti-parallel vectors. Anti-parallel vectors. If vectors are exactly in opposite direction to each other, like this, these two vectors are said to be anti-parallel, opposite, quite opposite in directions. So angle between these two anti-parallel vectors is 180 degrees. Here magnitudes may not be equal. These are the anti-parallel vectors. Equal vectors. Equal, or you can say similar. Similar vectors. The name itself, it shows what? The vectors look same. Both vectors look same, in the same magnitude with same direction. This is the A vector and B vector. This is B vector. So angle between these two is 0, parallel to each other, and also magnitude of A is equal to magnitude of B. You can also say these two are also like vectors. In addition to that, there is extra information that magnitudes also equal. So like vectors gives information of angle between the two vectors is 0. But equal means in addition to angle 0 gives magnitudes also equal. Magnitudes of these two are also equal. So that is equal vectors. Now negative vector. Just now I said negative vector has same magnitude of given vector, but in opposite direction. If it is the A vector and this is the B vector, which is with the same magnitude, same size of this, magnitudes are same but quite in opposite direction. It is in reverse direction of this A. So you can write angle between these two is what? 180. These two are also unlike vectors or anti-parallel vectors, but in addition to that magnitudes are equal. Theta is 180. Mod of A is equal to this mod of B. Or you can write this as A bar is equal to minus B bar. This minus B is what? Negative vector of A. This minus B is what? Negative vector. Negative vector of A vector. The addition of a vector and its negative vector gives null vector. If you write this minus B this side, minus B plus B is equal to 0 bar, not 0, it is the null vector. Two vectors addition or subtraction gives another vector, not the scalar. Vector minus vector is another vector. Scalar minus scalar is scalar. But scalar never be added to vector, or scalar never be subtracted from vector. Clear? This is the sum of two vectors, gives another vector, not 0. We should not write 0. This is O bar. So this is what? Null vector. Null vector. Is it clear what I said? Vector plus vector is vector. Scalar minus scalar plus scalar, or minus also, plus or minus, it gives scalar. But vector plus or minus scalar, this is not possible. It is not possible, vector minus scalar. Now null vector. Null vector or zero vector denoted by O bar means a vector without magnitude. A vector with zero magnitude is called null vector. Its magnitude is 0. Magnitude is 0 is called null vector. What about its direction? There is no magnitude. We cannot estimate, we cannot determine its direction. So direction of null vector is indeterminate. So we cannot determine its direction. So null vector, so a vector plus null vector gives what? The same vector. Also, if you subtract a null vector from another vector, it gives the same vector. Already we have written a vector plus its negative vector gives null vector. Example for null vector: velocity of a stationary body, its magnitude is 0, or velocity of vertically projected body at highest position. Velocity of the vertically projected body at maximum height is 0. So that is the best example for null vector. Or a displacement of the body which is at rest, displacement is 0. So those are the examples. A vector with 0 magnitude is called null vector. Now unit vector. Unit vector. Generally we use unit vectors to represent only direction, but frequently used unit vectors are I cap, j cap and k cap. I cap represent direction of x axis, direction of y axis is represented by j cap, and z axis is represented by k cap. This is the I cap, gives direction of x axis. This y axis direction is given by j cap, and the z axis direction is given by k cap. So what are these I, j, k? Are the unit vectors. Their magnitudes are equal to 1. Magnitudes are equal to 1. But they can only show the direction with magnitude 1. Or generally a unit vector, just now already we written the unit vector. If A is a vector, then its unit vector already we written. This vector has both magnitude and direction, and cancel the magnitude to have only a direction. To cancel the magnitude, divide this vector with its magnitude, then magnitude gets cancelled from this. You will have only direction. So this is the unit vector. Vector by, if it is the force vector by its magnitude, force by force is unitless. This is the unitless quantity. It has no units and dimensions. Unit vector has no units. Clear? Now position vector. It means it can give information of position of the particle. So if it is the coordinate system, this is the reference frame, x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. If it is the position of the particle P, coordinates are x comma y comma z. To represent its position, let us draw a straight line from the origin to this point. This straight line gives position vector. So position vector, you can write it as x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap. It means what? The distance of this point along x direction is x units. It is at x units distance along x direction. Direction is given by I cap. So its distance along y direction is y units. It is at z units distance along z axis. So I, j, k represent directions. Right? That is the vector. Now how do we get its magnitude? Modulus of this or vector. Mod of this is square root of x square plus y square plus z square. This is the formula for magnitude. Magnitude of or vector. Its unit vector. Unit vector of r bar is r cap is equal to r bar by modulus of r. So from that you can write that unit vector of that r position vector is, it is equal to x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap divided by square root of x square plus y square plus z square. This is the formula.